You wouldn't think it'd be that much trouble to raise that thing up on the slab, but I got it up here and I didn't drop it. That's good enough. Well, I'm going to be doing some very dangerous stuff today. It was very dangerous putting this contraption up there. Now I got to take it down. Our wall is going to go right to that post, and the bridge that the crane rolls on, the trolley rolls on, is sticking in to the wall by about 2 feet. And honestly, I'm getting brave with this thing and putting way more on it than it's designed for. Well, let's do a box opening. Let's see what I got from my good friend Dave Clark up in Ohio. Oh, nice. I got some hoodies, guys. Check it out. Dave, thank you, buddy. That is really nice. We got stickers. All right, those are going straight on the fridge now. Before I start panning around in this room, let me go ahead and tell you, I'm keeping that lathe along with the one behind it, the smaller one. There's going to be times I'm going to really need these in the future. It's not something I use every day, but when I need it, it sure comes in handy, and it saves me from having to run all over the place to get something machined. And we do, on a monthly basis, we do end up having to machine something. Or we needed to be able to machine something, but we would cut corners to avoid it. With that said, now I got to figure out how I'm going to get that lathe and that lathe up on this slab. I got to raise it up a foot and a half on this end to get it started, and then from there I can pull it on up with a winch. But I have to be very careful because the counter shafts, like this one, is directly overhead, but still that increases its top heaviness, right? So this thing could easily fall one way or the other. So I have to be very careful not to put any kind of inclination on that whatsoever as I raise it up. The small one, the counter shaft's in the back of the thing. So your center of gravity is probably more right here. So with that said, I'm going to have to take exceptional care as I move that one. It's more trouble to remove the gear than it is to just try to move it all in one piece. And it's got to be done now. At the time you see this video, I am going to actually, hopefully, be in the process of putting all this in its final place. If you're in this area and you'd love to help, I'd love to have you. This is, it's scary doing it by myself. And I'll tell you, yes, I'm having to do this by myself because Josie fell off the ladder the other day, 3 days ago. She was helping me. We were hanging tin up on the outside of the building, trying to cover up the hole where we had created an access for the cement trucks to back in. And I didn't have as good a hold as I was hoping on the sheet as I pulled it on up as she handed it to me. And from there, I dropped it, and she was probably 3 or 4 feet up off the ground. And she went to throw her arms up, to keep from getting cut by it. And she lost her balance and messed her ankle up really good. We took her to the doctor and they x-rayed her. Luckily, she didn't break any bones, but this is, as I said, it's her third day trying to give it rest, and it's still, her ankle's swole up. She can't move. She can't walk. And so I told her that just relax. I go in about every hour and check on her and help her if she needs anything. But yeah, I'm on my own now, so it's very challenging. And it's not so much that bothers me, it's the time frame of this. We have a lot to do, and Keith Rucker, he has scheduled a weekend to spend with me up here to wire the building. Well, we can't wire it until we get the studs up. So we have to stud this wall up, this wall, particularly this wall, and I can't do that until I get this equipment on the slab. There's no way I'm going to be able to bring this stuff in once we put this wall up here. And I got to get the compressor out of here. No, I'm not going to be listening to that noisy thing in this insulated room. It's going outside. So I got to shuffle not only these two lathes, but I also have to bring in the induction furnace down here. So this cabinet that's all wrapped up has to go right around here into this corner. Simple enough, right? Well, that's as far as the forklift could get this thing in the building. And also, we couldn't control it. The cabinet weighed so much. I mean, you got a generator that's probably got a 3-foot diameter head on it in that cabinet. And there's just no way to, that was as far as we were able to get it. And that's where that thing has sat for the last 2 years. Well, now it's time to get that thing moved on in here on this slab. That's going to be a bigger challenge than the lathes. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to put it on a skid. I'm going to have to put it on rollers, but I got to get it up to get that mess under it, right? And then once I get it to where I can do that, I can position it. With that said, so I have to have all this stuff on the slab. My original idea was to put an epoxy coating on the floor, get it nice looking, and then bring this stuff in here. Well, I'm going to probably scratch it up doing that. And on top of that, it's going to be very expensive to do that process to this floor right now. And we've got a lot more money to spend on other things just to get this thing buttoned up. And with Keith scheduling to come up and help me wire this thing, we got to get this, we got to have the walls up. You can't just run wiring without walls. So we've got to get the walls up. So the machines have to come in first. We have to put them roughly in place where they're going to go. Then we got to stud up the walls, get those done. I still got we're going to have Clearspan in Meridian, Mississippi. They are going to be bringing the trusses out. These trusses are going to cover a 24-foot span in Free State. So that's 24 feet from here to there. So you're going to have this whole area, and we're going to have 10-foot ceilings in here. Well, approximately 9.5-inch ceiling. Because of the truss height, that ended up lowering this. The truss height is 18 inches high. They're a web-based truss, and they're going to span from where this post is to this post, and they're going to come this way. So this is the shortest distance. This way is 36 feet. Anyway, yeah, it's getting fun, guys. And on top of that, we're trying our best to keep work going through. We've taken up most of the conveyor, so we can only put like 5 molds at a time on the conveyor. It's really getting hard to balance my workload around here. You're kind of getting an idea of, I've told you what I got to do, but I haven't told you where things are going or any of that stuff. So right here, you got the induction furnace, and it's going to come around the corner. It's going to sit right here. That is going to be in its own room. I forgot the dimensions, but the room is going to be 7 foot this way and maybe 10 foot this way, something like that. So that'll take a lot of the load off of these spanning trusses overhead. And the other one half of the room is going to be the induction furnace. This side of the room, it's going to be a closet set up for all of our safety gear. And we're going to have a door that goes in and out of the room here, along with a door that goes in and out of the room here. The room will be insulated because in the future, when we go to run that induction furnace, that thing makes so much noise, I want to have that insulated. Also, the insulation will serve to help keep this room cool or hot, depending on the time of the year, when we are running that furnace, because we're going to have to keep that door open as we keep this door closed. We're also going to have another door somewhere right in this area to take the molds out to the conveyor. The conveyor is going to go right down the middle of this 12-foot dirt floor bay all the way to the end, and we're going to take that little bitty fan in the wall there out, and we're going to put this one in. And with that said, this wall that's going to be going along the edge of the slab is going to have a tin covering on the outside to go all the way to the ceiling, and that'll prevent any sparks or potential fire hazards to the addition we're working on. We don't want any chance of fire being able to jump over the wall and land on the attic in this room here. So we're going to have a tin tunnel where we're going to pour all our molds, and that big fan is going to go right through the end wall here and help pull a fresh draft of air down through this tunnel, keeping all the poisonous gases going out with it. And it'll keep me cool back here where I'm melting at the other end. We just took the walls out. Excuse the mess, guys. We had a lot of stuff we had to find spots for as we were trying to get this slab poured. I need to show you this in order to explain what we're going to do. The bathroom is going to be centralized right here. And it's going to have a nice shower on this end. That's the drain right there, I believe, right here. And we're going to have a utility sink right on the outside of the bathroom right here. And then that's going to be the sewer access if we have to run a tape or anything through it. And then the drain for our kitchenette, which is going to be on the other side of that wall. That's the drain pipe. This is our one source of water coming into the slab where that's going to tie into the water heater, which is right here. I've never used PEX tubing before, so this is going to be my first chance with that. And then down here, we're going to have you're going to have your shower. It's going to be a walk-in shower with no door. It's going to have one of those walls that keep the water from going in there, of course. And then you're going to we have an old antique corner sink that's going to go right here. And then the commode's here. And it will be handicapped accessible for Josie. So as I said, we're going to have a break area right here, and I don't remember the dimensions on that, but it's going to come out here a little ways. And then on the corner back there, yes, Mr. Williams hasn't showed up to get the shaper yet. He may be coming pretty soon though. We'll get that on video when he picks it up. But our break area is going to have a little kitchen stove. The fridge will be in here, along with, on the other side of that wall where you first walk into the door, we're going to have a little display case that's going to show a lot of the things we have cast in the past. And I'm going to include a lot of real old cool Foundry artifacts that I've collected over the years. So my first step is to get the heavy equipment in here tonight and tomorrow. This is going to be a little more than I can handle by myself, I think. Now, once I get the equipment on the slab, I can jump on the studs and get all that nailed up. So next week, on next week's video, I will show you that. There's certain times in life when I go in public, it's very awkward when someone asks me what I do. Because it's hard to explain. I remember I was at a cafe one day, and somebody was asking me, well, what do you do up there? And I said, well, I pour cast iron. And he and his buddies were all rolling their eyes like, yeah, right. Well, I do. I, and I'm not, why would I lie about that? I do read each and every comment, guys. I have to. Sometimes I have to remove one. I don't want anybody to think I'm showing favoritism by replying to one guy and not replying to the other. So that's why I do not reply. I apologize. I don't think I'm better than anybody else, but I have very little time to do YouTube videos anyway. And if I had to reply to all the comments, it would be a challenge for me. But I do read them and I do listen. Particularly several weeks ago, I was showing this eagle. And if you're wondering where I'm headed with this, somebody left a comment, well, you can't do that in sand. You have to do that in ceramic slurry. You can do that in ceramic slurry, but buddy, I'm fixing to prove you wrong. This is the back side of the bird. Right here. So I'm going to put my gate here and here and see what happens. $62.5, so that's going to be 31.25. Drilled right in the radiator. At the time, it seemed like a good idea, right? Guys, I only paid $1,000 for this truck. I don't care what it looks like, but I do like that eagle. When I get new sanding belts for that sander that Mike Wiggins gave me, I'm going to grind a better contour in the bottom of it along with the sides and shape it up some. I'll show you that later. But yeah, I like my hood ornament. It just increased the value of my truck from about $300 to $500. And you know, it's a truck, right? It's nothing pretty to look at, but it gets the job done. And I'm not going to show you everything. The dash is busted to heck and back. There are advantages of driving an old truck. Anytime I go to Jackson and I pull up to a panhandler, they give me money. It's a win-win. And when people see me barreling down the highway in this thing, they automatically think I don't have insurance, so they get out of my way. You can't go wrong driving an old rig like this. All right, guys. Well, I got to get to work. And hey, if you're in this area and you're watching this video, I can assure you it's by Saturday. I'm still going to be dragging that machinery around trying to get it in place. If you want to come and help, I would love to have you. But I am going to let you go for now and get back to work. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will keep you posted on the progress here along with Josie's condition. Hopefully she'll actually be hobbling along next week with that boot on. Y'all take care. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.